Hey, Pepin.
Yo, yo.
I've been thinking a lot lately about cryptozoology.
Is that like Bitcoin?
No, that's cryptocurrency.
Oh, okay. What's cryptozoology?
Cryptozoology is like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster and real animals that aren't real.
Chupacabra?
Yeah, that'd be one.
Oh, that's interesting. So what about them exactly?
I've been thinking a lot lately about how they're definitely real.
They're definitely real.
Yeah, I saw one once.
What?
Yeah, I saw the real thing.
Fuck you. I don't believe you.
Nate, we need to talk. Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend Nathan Pepin. How's it going, Pepin?
Yo, doing well. How about yourself, Steve?
Not too bad. Thank you so much. And we are joined by special guests and cryptozoology experts coming from the ABC pod. That would be Dukes and Keith. How's it going, guys?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having us on, man.
Absolutely. So glad you guys could make it. You guys want to introduce yourselves so that people can get to know the name with the voice and tell us a little bit about ABC?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay, so what's up, everybody? My name is Dukes, and we have three co-hosts. Our third, Griff, is unfortunately not with us today, but luckily I got the second guy with me to my right, Killer K. What's up, Keith? Say what's up.
What's up, world? Life's lit. Too lit to quit.
Now, Meter, I don't know. I mean, do you want us to dive right into the podcast? Because we can, if you want.
Well, I definitely want to dive into the podcast. I want you to tell the people a little bit about your show. From my perspective, I love you guys' podcast. Just
thank you.
Just to start off, I don't think I've ever said that. We've talked a lot. I don't think I've ever explicitly told you how much I love you guys' podcast. It's so much fun to listen to. It's like hanging out with you guys, and you guys aren't you guys are bros, but in a way that it's not like you're dicks. You know what I mean?
Well, first
sometimes,
of all, yeah,
sometimes there's bros and they're like exclusive and they don't want to accept new people. And you guys, it's like really comfortable. It's like I feel like I'm part of the conversation and I'm not even saying anything. It's really unique. And I think anybody who likes this show will like your show, no question.
Well, we appreciate that for sure. And I think that's the vibe that we're going for, right? We're Keith, Griff, and I, we've all known each other for a bunch of years. And the reason that we got this thing going is because we felt that personality-wise, we all kind of can come together, but we all offer something different. So whereas that conversation can get very bro-ish, at the same time, it always finds a way to split off into each person's own personal attitude comes up. You know what I mean, Keith?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't consider myself a bro, but I can see where I come off as a bro. I like using the word bro, and I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Well, I mean, I think there's more to it too. I mean, you're a big dad joke guy.
Oh, I love dad jokes.
I mean, joke every single time, right? And so I don't know. I feel like you have a lot of dadish qualities to you, but it comes off on the podcast as bro-ish. You're like a bro dad. You're like a dad bro.
I don't have any children, so I don't know how to take this right now.
I think
but you do sleep with a lot of moms, so that makes up for it.
Oh, hey yo.
That's just a guess. I don't think I can corroborate that.
You can be farther from the truth on that one.
Oh, exclusively non-moms. I see.
Well, at least you know they put out.
And if you can't get it right off of there, one thing about Keith, what he's great about for the podcast especially, he's a very honest guy. Actually, Griff and you are both very honest people. So it's not whatever comes out is what's being thought of. It's not like we try. We're not like a very raw and extreme like podcast. But, as far as being PC goes, there's not that much of a filter. It's just we try to be our genuine personalities, I think.
And I think that comes across extremely well. You guys it's an awesome show. Anything but credible. Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with that name? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we were trying to figure out when we wanted to do this podcast, we're like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? What's going to be our shtick? Are we going to do the same old thing that everybody does? We're going to try and do something different. And along with that came to where we are now. It took a bunch of episodes to kind of get to the segments that we do now. We're kind of split up into 3 different segments. And we realized if we're going to stick with these segments, what are these segments going to cover? Anything specific? No. Is it going to be anything, valuable? Maybe, but not necessarily. And the whole thing is we're going to be talking about weird news stories, right? We love weird stuff. We love, we talk about the weird stuff that we encounter in our life. That's like the first segment. The second segment is a conspiracy theory, usually, which is always great. You always get the good weird stuff from there. And then the third segment is usually like the weird news stories that we run across throughout the week. We call it the weekly weirdness. And we figured, well, we're talking about news stories. We're talking about news. It's just not necessarily the news that you've heard about, probably, or maybe that you have heard, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? So yes, we are bringing you news, but it is not any sort of credible at all. So it's like, take what we say, but don't write a book report on it. You know what I mean? Like, don't use us as a source. That's so we figured out, man, we're gonna be talking about anything. It's all silly. It's all weird. It's all a good time. But in the end, take it as it is. It's not. It's just 3 guys hanging out and talking about weird shit that is happening in the world that you probably haven't heard of.
And I love it, and it's really, really well done. You guys are a lot of fun to listen to. So let's show that right now with this conversation, talking about cryptozoology, which is something that comes up quite a bit on you guys' show. I know you guys have a dedicated Bigfoot watch of sorts. Have either of you run into the Bigfoot?
No, I have not personally, but I know a couple people who think they have.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and we're
okay.
lucky enough to have our close rotation of guests that we have are our buddies, but we're lucky enough to have one of them as a certified our Squatch correspondent. So he really is traveling around the country for his work, but in the meantime, when he's not working, he's out there squatching. So we got a good eye. We got ears to the streets, or I guess to the woods in the Squatch's case. So we're lucky enough to get some valuable information out of that.
Is that the term? I never heard that term.
What?
Squatching?
Squashing?
Oh, yeah. Everything.
Squatch watching.
When you talk about Bigfoot, it's mainly Squatch related. Because if you're talking about the other forms of Bigfoot, like Yeti or the different names.
Swamp apes.
Yeah, there's the, what was the other one? Cabbage Man that we talked about?
Yeah.
I think
that was the same one as the swamp.
Yeah, that
ape,
was.
right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. So, I mean, every region has their own name for these animal or
Creatures.
Yeah, that's good. Creatures that they see, but overall, I think the overall term would be Squatch.
Are there people who are like very, say, stringent with the name, saying, "Oh, that's not Bigfoot, that's a Yeti right there"? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, you know what? It probably is with the people that are really serious, and that's the other thing too. For everyone listening, I kind of know a weird amount about it because I just think it's so fucking hilarious about all these people that are so diehard for Bigfoots. But yeah, I could definitely see people kind of getting at each other over the name. I mean, if you've ever seen, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the show, I think it just came to an end, but on Animal Planet called Finding Bigfoot, they every episode go out looking for a Squatch, and I've seen them kind of go at people before. They have town hall meetings to every town that they go to, and I've seen them get kind of testy at the language and verbiage when it comes to Squatch hunting.
I love it, and I'm so glad that we can have resident professional cryptozoologists here with us here today, as billed by me. Maybe you guys aren't going to bill yourself that way, but that is what I'm going to call you, is our resident professionals.
Hey, well, we're okay with that. And Meter, I got to tell you, man, this also can relate to like 90% of our show. But the way we look at it, man, is somebody's got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many Bigfoot conversations you're having. Probably not that many. I hope not that many for your well-being. But somebody's got to be dumb enough to talk about it. We are happy to take that spot.
And just to be clear to our listeners, we don't think that you're dumb if you believe in this or want to talk about it.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun, and I think that there's some validity to a lot of this stuff in a lot of ways, and I think it's time that we dive right in. I am on, if you want to follow along with me, listeners at home, exemplar.com. There is a web article. I think I just typed a cryptozoology list into Google and skipped all the Wikipedia articles because there are probably like 1,000 plus different cryptozoological, I think they call them cryptids, the actual physical one animal at a time, in that list. Like, I was scrolling through the A's and I couldn't find the N, so I'm like, nope, can't do this. So I found this short list of 12. And I think we're going to cover the big ones. Something really important to keep in mind, and I'm going to read this off Exemplar, is that the giant squid, mountain gorilla, and giant panda were all thought of as legendary creatures until they were officially discovered.
Wow.
The coelacanth was thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago until someone found a live one. There are definitely new discoveries out there waiting for us. The question is, who will have the guts to find them?
You're listening to him.
Hold on. We will take the chances of talking to the people that are brave enough. But I'll tell you right now, if there's any kind of looking for a creature anywhere near the ocean or in the ocean, you count me out right
That is
away.
true, yeah.
Listen, those squids and stuff that you were talking about, the octopuses, like, people really found those big ones, and no thanks on my part.
And I mean, that goes to like something that's not on this list, like the kraken. Like, that's a giant squid.
Yeah.
But I can believe that there was things attacking ships, and it could have even been giant squids. Who knows what the deep ocean, the unexplored areas of the world that we currently live on hold, that maybe, especially years and years ago, did exist in maybe more numbers.
I mean, my thought on all this is, like, alligators and crocodiles are still around from, like, Jurassic period, so why not? I'm believing in it.
Yeah,
man.
why not, man?
Why not?
Sure.
I've seen some books with illustrations of like ancient dinosaurs and, you know, those, whatever you want to call them, prehistoric things. And a lot of the things in the ocean are fucking terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
these huge whale-like things with crazy teeth. Like not cute whales. They're like, not killer whales, but just fucking terrifying whales.
Do you think cute whale is the name of a real whale? You know, like the great white or the cute. Okay, so let's go with number 12, phantom cats.
What?
Does anyone know about phantom cats?
I don't.
No.
They're huge black cats that prowl the English countryside, frightening locals and terrorizing livestock. Often described as black panthers or leopards, but whatever their species, they do not belong in Great Britain.
That's interesting.
It goes on to explain that maybe they're descendants of old animals, or there's another theory that they were left behind by U.S. servicemen after World War II. I don't know why they had panthers with them, but
I like that one better.
But the bottom line is that they're big cats that don't belong in that area, and they're thriving. And actually, the authorities in Sydney, Australia, did a study about big cats that aren't native to that area and found that they do exist, and they do have a foothold, and they're breeding and continuing to grow. And the U.S. has seen the same. So I don't know that I can call this cryptids, though. Is that cryptozoology? Like, it's a panther. Like,
That's actually what I was just gonna say. It sounds like that's a real certified thing.
Sounds like it's a real problem.
That's
too.
what I'm
yeah, like it's a real thing. Like, why is this under the cryptozoology? And it's number 12 too. It's not even like up there. It's like,
Maybe that was just.
did you know that there's panthers in England?
Maybe that's just like an asshole American wrote and was like, I don't believe Britain
Well, that's
and
prob-
what they say.
There are similar stories in the U.S. though about like people getting their animals killed by like some sort of giant cat, and they say it's like a mountain lion or a panther, and people tend not to believe it because they look into it and they're like, oh, there's no giant cats around here, but it's a big story like around this area especially.
Oh, they're stealthy, man.
Yeah. And I think there's a bunch, like, isn't that the whole rap on the chupacabra or whatever?
No, chupacabra is more like a dog-like creature, but we'll probably get into that
Okay.
later.
All right.
We will definitely get into the chupacabra.
Cool.
Right now we're at number 11, the Jersey Devil. Who knows about the Jersey Devil?
I know the video game.
I've heard that one before.
Ooh.
I know that their hockey team was decent a while ago and been trashed lately. Well, decent since they got Taylor Hall, I guess, but the Blues were lucky enough to steal one of their famed goalies.
Martin Brodeur.
Brodeur. Yeah, I couldn't think of his fucking name. That's a terrible answer, by the way. Sorry about that.
As the legend goes, a woman who had already had too many children became pregnant once again. Before the child was born, she cursed it and said the devil could have it. On the day of its birth, she got her wish.
Oh.
The child turned out to be a demon, the Jersey Devil, and it flew up the chimney and out into the forest.
Oh, wow.
This is 1909 folklore from right on the Jersey coast. So I'm sure there's a Jersey Shore reference to be made there somewhere.
I mean, I love witchcraft, and listen, we've all heard and probably have friends that have like shithead kids, but man, dude probably takes the rap, don't you think?
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm looking at the illustration of this thing. It does not look human-like.
Oh, does he have?
Thank
they
Thank
went
you
full
so
devil.
much, because I was going to
Oh.
bring that up. Can somebody put words to what they're looking at?
That's for sure, like the devil goat thing, right?
Horse bat?
That's a goat bat, dude.
Goat bat.
That's a gat.
Yeah.
It's a gat.
Is it wearing clogs?
Dude, it's got horseshoes. I don't...
Oh, it legit hooves. That's a
It's like wearing steel hooves or something.
that thing probably would kill some tap dancing though.
Yeah.
It kind of looks friendly though. He looks kind of like he looks like he's not up to anything bad. He's just like, hey, what's going on?
But isn't the devil always approachable?
Oh,
I mean,
Oh, wow! You just fucking schooled me.
getting deep. That's what she
I
said.
can definitely say that if you want to get rid of a baby, that's the best way to do it.
that's a good point. That's a great
Really
point.
gives Planned Parenthood a run for its money. 1909 Planned Parenthood, the devil.
Just curse it. That's all you do.
Get your local witch from Salem. Run her up there. You're good to go.
Yep, done.
Oh my. I mean, I don't have much to say about the Jersey Devil. I'm just glad that I've never seen it, because that thing is terrifying.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that for sure.
No.
Can you imagine trying to explain to somebody what you just saw? Like, it was a bat, but it has a camel's head.
You ever
And a long neck.
You ever seen that terrible I forget the actor, Adrian Brody, I think, that movie Splice?
Oh yeah, Splice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, like
just
that.
like a freakish alien
Okay.
humanoid deal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
Yeah.
very.
The number 10 on the list is the Mothman.
Oh.
Who knows of the Mothman?
Yes. Love the Mothman.
First appeared in 1966 in West Virginia. What do you know about the Mothman, Dukes?
Number one, Mothman, the actual movie with was it Richard Gere? No, who was Mothman? Who was in Mothman?
Oh man, that movie was awful.
I think it was Richard Gere, right? I don't know. Either way, when that came out, I thought it was
sounds
super
right.
creepy, and I watched it like not a couple years ago, and yeah, it's an awful movie. Second fun tip, I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I'm almost positive the Mothman myth, or whatever you want to call it, spawned what we now know as the Men in Black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
Oh, I had not heard
If I
that.
remember correctly, the Men in Black were the government agencies who actually investigated some of the local. Apparently, because the Mothman, from what I remember, kind of turned into like a local thing, like more than one person. It kind of, some people started talking to each other, and the word spread a little bit, and then the story kind of grew into this general thing. And a word on the street is that the government investigated it. Men in Black, which would be like FBI suits, came, and then now we have the Will Smith Men in Black.
Which is, I mean, anything with Will Smith is a grade A prime cut.
Yeah.
So what is the Mothman exactly? I'm imagining like a moth man, like pretty obvious, but like what is this?
Man,
What does it do?
You
Like,
got an active imagination, man.
does it eat babies or like
it's a
cows?
large humanoid creature, glowing eyes, huge wings, and it's seen around natural disasters of sort. There was a tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge in Pleasant Point in 1967 that multiple witnesses claim that they saw the creature in the vicinity of the bridge, and I think that's part of the movie.
Yes.
Is that happens in that, so it kind of parallels in that way. And a lot of people think the Mothman is like an omen for a disaster, although the official cause of the collapse was faulty design and
Yes, you are correct. Also, the movie plays a little bit different into that, where they really go hard on the eyes. They kind of forget about it being a creature. It's more of like the myth is that it's more of like a smoke blur with just eyes. But the movie goes a little bit deeper to what you're saying, Meter, as far as people who would see. I think whoever the main guy is, I'm just gonna keep going with Richard Gere. That might be wrong, but he like the Mothman talks to him, who he tries to prevent this future
Tragedy.
Yes. So they had to turn it into somewhat of a cinematic story. So
And I mean, when I saw the movie, I didn't like it at all. By the way, it definitely was Richard Gere.
yes. Any idea what year that was? Weird question.
2002.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
embarrassing. That I did
Yeah.
that.
I was 12 years old when I saw it, and I was like, wow, this is shit.
You knew then that it was bad.
But then again, I'm sure at that point I thought everything was shit. So except Liar Liar, that was an amazing movie.
Meter Pepin, can I ask you guys a question real quick before we move on to the list?
Of course.
Can I ask you guys where both of you stand on, we talk a lot about conspiracy theories on our podcast, a lot of myths, stuff just like this list that we're going through. But can I ask you guys where exactly you stand on, these kind of stories or myths or whatever you want to call them? Like, where do you guys fall on the spectrum of all of these kind of conversations?
So I am what we described as a extreme skeptic with like everything, and it's unfortunate because it makes me kind of boring or like a buzzkill. I ask questions. I'm curious. Like I like learning, but like even things which are like pretty plausible, I'm like I don't know. It seems fishy. Let's wait for evidence.
Yeah, fair enough. Meter, what about you?
I believe everything I hear until I hear differently. Listen, if you think you saw Bigfoot, guess what? Fucking Bigfoot's out there and he was stalking you. And I'll take it one step further. He knows where you live.
Yep. Yeah. See, I think me and you were in the same ballpark there, whereas Pepin, you're in the same ballpark as Griff. He shoots down all of our fun theories that we talk about. We know Keith and I both know that they're very wild, but we love entertaining them because it's just a good, fun conversation to have. But Griff is kind of like you, Pepin, where he's like, "Oh, you guys aren't serious, right? This physically cannot happen." It's like, dude,
Just entertain the idea in your head, man. Like the dinosaurs built the pyramids. Like
yeah, that's real. You guys should.
It's just.
By the way, everyone listening should Google that too. Just throwing that.
Yeah.
out.
Was that like a Land Before Time thing or?
No, it was a land during time thing.
Oh, Land During Time. The
That didn't really make
stunning
sense.
sequel to Land Before Time. Stay tuned for the sequel to that, Land After Time.
Oh God. Ugh.
Number 9, mermaids.
Whoa.
For sure, real.
So, somebody talk to me about mermaids right now.
They're pretty hot.
I mean, Ariel was hot.
That's
yeah.
hot. I think.
The Little Mermaid was underage, so you watch your mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's weird, dude.
That is.
But I think-
thought she was hot when I was younger.
Well,
Sorry.
okay, there you go. I'll take it a step further. I think it'd be a bad thing to skip over mermaids without talking about one of the best movies ever created, which is Splash, with Tom Hanks. Isn't it Splash? I think it's Splash,
I
right?
think so.
It's Splash.
Listen, you don't know mermaids until you watch Tom Hanks fall in love with one. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
You don't know mermaids until you've seen the Discovery documentary.
I have seen that.
Have you seen that?
Have either of you guys watched that documentary on mermaids?
No, is there a specific one you're talking about?
I don't know the name, but it was on it's on TV only. It was like on Discovery Channel or maybe Nat Geo or something.
Yeah, there was a 2-part series of it.
Yeah.
And like at the end, like I had friends coming up to me just believing wholeheartedly mermaids were out there, man.
It's basically a version of like Ancient Aliens, but into like a 2-hour special of strictly on mermaids.
That sounds extremely fascinating.
Yeah. Good.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Sure, if you
What
say so.
What are your guys' thoughts on mermaids? I'd love to hear. You guys are way more closer to the coastline than we are, so I'd love to hear your thoughts.
See, with mermaids, I think they're a degradation of sirens. Like sirens are supposed to be like these like super beautiful things, but they will like fucking murder you by calling you down with their beautiful voices into the sea. So I think sirens are cooler, but I like mermaids. I don't know why they wear bras all the time, but it's cool.
So like Homer's The Odyssey.
No, I like
Yeah,
how
exactly.
deep he went there, though. That makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
I like it.
The Odyssey is exactly what Nathan's talking about, and I don't think they're necessarily degradation. I think they're the same thing. I think sirens was just like is for the ones that specifically call you down, but I think that there's the idea behind mermaids is that there's a whole, planet of these things, a whole society. It's kind of like a step further versus a step down. But sirens, I think they're beautiful from a distance, but then when you get close, then they turn hideous and and kill you and drag you down.
Yeah, we
So
actually
you got
have.
the
I'm
the
sorry,
drunk
Keith.
goggles on.
Oh, I was gonna say, if in St. Louis we have a term we call those 50-footers, but yeah, you're correct.
Jesus. Oh, but you're not bros.
God damn it! I blew
Gotcha.
our cover. Shit.
All of my knowledge from Mermaids comes from the Disney Channel coming of age comedy, The 13th Year.
Well, I don't know that
Produced in
one.
1999 about a boy who turns into a mermaid when he turns 13.
I do remember that one. Yeah.
Wow.
That one was
So
rough.
dumb.
That was a rough watch.
Sounds
Look that
amazing.
bad boy up, because man, is it worth at least 4 minutes. It's 2-hour runtime.
That's amazing.
Merman, damn it. Merman.
Okay, touche. Number 8, living dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alligators.
Alligators.
Yeah.
It shows a picture of a Bronchiosaurus.
No.
Good for you knowing what dinosaur
Yeah,
that is.
is really impressive, actually.
How do you know? I guess I could have called it a long neck. How do you know, Nathan, that there's not one living deep in the dark forests that have not been discovered yet? I mean, the coelacanth was long thought to have been extinct millions of years ago, and then they found some still alive to this day.
It's because it's big. It's large. Like
So?
we would see it somewhere. Like, and also there's gonna have to be multiple of them. Like, because otherwise they wouldn't be breeding very well. They'd be eating something, making some sort of footprint. Like, if there's gonna be something out there, it has to be smaller and easier to conceal, or in the ocean, because the ocean is huge, and we know less about that than like the stars.
Okay, so a water-based dinosaur, or one that lives in the African jungles where nobody's exploring that area. Like, I don't think that it's completely outrageous to think that something like this could live in a place that isn't actively being explored.
I think we would see it from like a plane or like from GPS or something. You know, some sort of way.
GPS? Like,
Yeah.
you looking on fucking Google Maps, finding your dinosaurs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people do. I mean, they just trying to like zoom in. It's like, oh, is that a Bronchiosaurus? Oh, no, they don't exist.
I mean, they could just think it's an elephant.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a pretty good point.
I mean, there's large mammals out there.
Okay, rebutted. Yep.
There are. Not that a dinosaur is a mammal, but
Reptiles,
Yeah.
aren't they? Never mind.
You know, and I was going to say, you guys are having a good conversation. I don't mean to side rail it, but, you know, there's a lot of people out in the world that don't necessarily believe dinosaurs were ever a thing in the first place. Are either of you in that, down that avenue?
No, the dinosaurs were real.
where did all those bones come from?
Did Ross from Friends tell you dinosaurs are real, or did you do your own research?
No, it was Indiana Jones.
That's a good source.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
good source. Okay.
Credible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's people
but-
who don't believe the dinosaurs were real, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they think that the bone discoveries and the art, what do they call those when you digging and stuff? What are those things called? Excavations or whatever?
Yeah.
I think that those are like planted, whole setups basically of planted bones of other old animals, whatever it may be, and then because everyone goes to these museums and thinks that these dinosaurs bones that they see all put together, it was what the dinosaur looks like, but very rarely do they actually know what it isn't something like people think that there's no way of people actually knowing the full. Well, there's no way to have all the bones, right? Or something.
Yeah.
It's something like that where they don't think that people just guess to be like, I think that the T-Rex looked like this, but we don't really know. Something like that. I don't know.
Like, what would make the most sense for them to all fit together, the bones? Because I know there was a story about a dinosaur that some guy dug up as many of the bones as they could find, and a lot of times when they're digging up the bones, the animal died like in a tar pit or something like that. So all of the bones are still in the same shape that the animal was in when it died. So I think in that way it can be pretty accurate. But I remember there was a story before, like back in the earlier days of archaeology, when they found all of these bones and they put them all together and they're like, this is what it looked like. And then it turns out that they were missing like a third of the bones or something. And it looked completely different. And they were just extrapolating from incomplete data.
yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly these two guys who were like in competition with each other, and they were trying to discover like more and more dinosaurs than each other. And what kept on happening is they kept on making up new ones by just combining bones together. Oh, this is a new one. Oh, this is a new one. So there's a lot of dinosaurs that we kind of grew up with that actually don't exist. I mean, not technically. Like the Brachiosaurus is one where it's not a real thing. They thought it was a thing, but it's actually something else. It's very similar, but it's not its own species.
Well, you just ruined my childhood.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wow, thanks, Kevin.
Wow, Nate.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Listen, no, honestly though, that makes a total sense to me. But I just would like we've already hit this before, but Keith and I are both believers. Obviously, there's no way the pyramids could have been built without them, so
Exactly.
they had to have been real.
Without the dinosaurs?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The number 7, orang pendek. People who live on the fringes of the jungle on the island of Sumatra know of a bizarre human-like creature that dwells within. They call it orang pendek and describe it as short and covered with hair resembling an ape but walking on 2 legs, peaceful but dangerous if cornered. To those of us in the West, it sounds like a mini Bigfoot. Thoughts?
Well, I do have a lot of thoughts. It kind of, from one, it sounds like a Hobbit-ish thing. It also kind of sounds like a hairy leprechaun, but also it also reminds me, like in real news, it kind of reminds me of whatever that island is that they recently discovered of that they just figured out that was once inhabited by like some kind of super miniature people. I don't know if you guys have. I don't know the details because I'm not a credible source, but some kind of island that they figured out that like they found some kind of bones or something and figured out that everybody lived on an island was like 3 foot tall. Did you hear about that, Keith?
No, I did not.
Oh.
But this sounds like an orangutan.
Oh,
Just saying.
just a monkey.
Yeah.
They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
What do you guys
I don't
think?
I mean, it sounds like it sounds like a legit thing. And reading a little bit more, it says like Dutch settlers who went to that area started writing about it, and then they went to the locals, and the locals were like, "Oh yeah, we know that thing. That don't corner it."
Yeah.
But like it was like just like a known thing. So like I can imagine an ape that walks on 2 legs and is humanoid in stature and all of that is could be a real thing pretty easily. I mean, for those who believe in evolution, it doesn't seem like a logical leap of any sort.
Yeah, I feel like one of those monkeys like had to be the cool guy that did the new stuff. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
it's like, oh shit, look at Jim over there. Dude's walking on 2 legs. That guy's a savage.
Yes.
I don't know. But I just picture.
One thing I found kind of weird is like not too long ago, like 10,000 years ago, I think there was Neanderthals, and they were not humans, like the same kind of is it called genus? I don't know the words, but the same kind of like family, but they're different species, but we could still interbreed with them, and so that existed 10,000 years ago. So it's like I'm skeptical with things, but it does seem still plausible that there would be something else out there which would be resembling us and able of walking and maybe someone intelligent, and it seems plausible. It's not that it couldn't exist. It's just been no real evidence for it.
And I mean, it doesn't say anywhere in here that it's intelligent in any way. All it says is that it walks on 2 legs and it's hairy. I mean, it just sounds like an ape, like you were saying, like an orangutan, Keith.
Yeah.
And can I also note that is this the most believable thing that we've had so far for Pepin on the list?
Yeah.
I feel like we're making way.
I think the cats. I think literal panthers
cats.
is probably the most believable.
Yeah, actually, the panthers. I want the mermaids to be real, but they're not, so that sucks.
Side note, Meter, before you move on, I just like to note for the people out there listening, I am still sticking with the hairy leprechaun theory for this one. So,
Okay. Now you have to explain that.
that's just what first thing when you described this creature, it's the first thing that popped in my head. Not sure why.
Hairy leprechaun?
Yeah.
Hairy
Okay.
leprechaun?
Wait, is this from that viral video, or is this the one that went to the hood?
Well, I actually don't remember how that movie ended, but I believe in a couple of months we'll be able to figure that storyline out. I think they're coming out with a new one.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that just made my night.
Yeah, you should Google that. I'm pretty sure I watched a trailer on it. I think. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Not
So
credible.
Yeah, it's not credible.
fair, you did warn us.
They're like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
So I mean, that's number 7 on the list. So far, nothing's been like outrageous, and a lot of these I've kind of heard before. I mean, I've heard of panthers, but like the Jersey Devil, I had heard that. I hadn't known about it though, so I'm definitely glad we talked about it. With that said, we're gonna cut here and go into a second episode. So stay tuned next week for part 2 about cryptozoology and cryptids. And I guarantee you guys, something Bigfoot is coming. Wait, no, I can do better. Something big is afoot. Nailed it.
Wow.
With that said, that's my attempt at going for dad jokes. I'm not quite up to you guys' level, but
It takes time.
Where can people find you?
Okay, anywhere that you get your podcast, except for Spotify at this point. We're working on that. But basically anywhere that you get your podcast, we should be there. We're also Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's I won't go into all the links, but a Google search will do it. But the main thing is anythingbutcredible.com, or you can hit us on the email, anythingbutcredible@gmail.com.
Recently,
That's pretty straightforward.
just came up on Pornhub, so yeah, we got that going for us.
Now you're in the prime zone.
Yeah, that's where the real audience is.
So we'll also put some links in the description here, of course. Of the ones that we talked about here, which one was you guys' favorite to go out on? I liked the real still alive dinosaurs, because that sounds awesome.
Yes.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I think I weirdly knew the most about the Mothman, so like I guess I can go with that. But story-wise, I'm kind of digging the Devil Baby / goat winged chimney kid thing. I kind of like that. I got to look into that one, I think.
I love the Mothman, but I don't know if I can believe in like a Richard Gere. Like, really? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure why he got casted for that. It was like so left field for him in the first place. Like, I don't know who made that decision. Maybe they knew like this movie's gonna fucking suck anyway. Like, let's just get Richard. Let's get Dick in here.
Dick
Get a little bit of Dick in here. Nathan, your favorite?
I think my favorite would be the same one that Duke said, the weird baby one, because just the way it was like drawn, it's like, how would people even describe that? Like
The Jersey Devil.
and whoever like drew it must be like, really? This?
Is this what you meant? Yes, that's it. Really?
Like, okay, I'm never talking to you again.
Because I was fucking around, and you seem pretty serious. Keith, did you say yours?
Yeah, I was going with the dinosaurs, but yeah, I'm looking at the Jersey Devil picture right now, and it's peering into my eyes.
You want to learn more about it, don't you?
No, dude. Look at this picture. Look at its eye, dude.
Oh, that's for sure the goat. That's the devil goat head. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we all changed our answer to the Jersey Devil officially.
Yes.
And if you guys want to learn more about the Jersey Devil, pornhub.com /
Oh
Jersey
my
Devil.
God, what would come
Check
up?
it out.
Oh,
Baby Steve.
that'd be an
You're a
experiment.
baby.
It was a long time ago, guys. It was a long time
Nate,
ago.
it was a baby in the 1600s. It's not a baby now.
Is it the same one that's flying around though, or is there multiple?
Oh God, I didn't even think.
Great question, actually.
What's it breeding
Yeah.
with? Does it produce by itself, or there are multiple?
Oh God, these are so many great questions. Steve, we need to talk.
Hey, Pepin.
Yo.
Do you usually subscribe to entire podcasts, or do you look for specific topics?
Well, I try using the search function on my podcast player on my phone. It doesn't work too well. Try using Google. Google, it's not really set up for it, so I honestly have trouble.
Why don't you just use Listen Notes?
Listen Notes. What's that?
It's a search engine for podcasts that doesn't just search for the terms you're looking for in the title of the episode or the title of the podcast, but from inside the episode itself. Meaning if you're looking for a specific topic, you can find specific podcast episodes that are about that topic.
You know, that sounds a lot easier than spending the hours and hours I have just trying to find the exact right keywords to actually get it to bring up the episode. I mean, usually I just get like a million how to start your own podcast articles. It's really annoying. So that sounds a lot better.
Exactly. When you're looking for something to listen to, just go to listennotes.com, type in a topic you're interested in, and you'll get instant gratification, useful results. That's listennotes.com. Check it out now.